Hey there, Biggie Ron here, and I heard you want to become a digital artist. Well, you're in the right place, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna keep this quick, and I'm gonna show you exactly the steps you need to take and the things you need to start today if you can. All right, so the first thing you're gonna need, should be pretty obvious, is some sort of computer, like this one. Now, obviously, you don't need the RGB beast over here, but you're gonna need some kind of device, to put your art on, because you gotta do digital art. You gotta have something to put, digital, put it on. So you can either have a computer, a laptop, you can use, a tablet, just like this one. This is an Android tablet, the Samsung Galaxy Tab, or you can use your iPad. That's right, good old iPad for that. That's good too. Any of those things are gonna work. That'll work just fine. All right, the next thing you're gonna need is some sort of interface device to interface with the art program you're gonna use. So you are not gonna have to worry about this step if you already have a tablet, because you obviously will be using something like Procreate and you draw directly on the tablet, so you don't need it for that. However, for these other devices, for computers and for most laptops and stuff like that, you're going to want some sort of drawing interface device. And what I mean by that is you're going to want one of these drawing screens. So check this thing out. There's a drawing screen right here. This one's from XP Pen. It's one of their older models. Yeah, basically the screen hooks directly to the computer back there or your laptop or anything you got. And with this, you are able to, there we go. With this, you're able to have quick controls, little keys right here, and everything comes up on here. You just drag your drawing program over here and you just draw on it like that directly. That's really nice. So yeah, just like this bad boy as well. Here's another one of them. As you can see, I am quite partial to XP Pen. I'll be honest with you, Huion or XP Pen, they are just as good. I don't recommend Wacom only because they are so ridiculously expensive, and the quality you get with these two companies is just amazing, and their drivers are amazing too. They've really come a long way, and you know what? It is, especially with you starting out, it is definitely worth it for you to just choose one of these companies and stick to it. All right, let's take a look at this. So you know what, since I'm going with the screens, let me go with the screens. So if you look right here, you guys are super lucky. These screen monitors used to just cost an arm and a leg, but now they're down as low as $209. That's ridiculous compared to what it used to be. So if I was to make a recommendation, I would say don't go, you see this one says 11.9 inches. I would not go any lower than that, any lower than a 12-inch screen, because when you get under 12 inches, it starts getting really small for your hand. Perfect for me, like the bigger the better, but like if I had to stop at a size, I like 15.6 or 16-inch drawing monitors. They're great for the price. Your hand doesn't cramp up and you don't have to move the drawing around so much. But yeah, this is good to go. And you don't have to get XP Pen, like I said. This is just the one I prefer. Just look for anything in this size. And the other choice is you can, if you want to save yourself a couple bucks, you can go with the screenless type right here. These are the screenless monitors. You can use this. I know it might seem counterintuitive to use something like this where you plug it in your computer, or like this one, this is wireless Bluetooth, so that makes it really cool, where you just connect it by Bluetooth and you draw looking up while the while the tablet itself is on the ground. Not the ground, I'm sorry. When the tablet itself is on the table. So yes, it'll take, in my experience, it takes about a week or two to get used to it. But I'm telling you, there are really talented artists who have been using these things for decades now. And I know a couple that work professionally and don't even want to switch over to the drawing monitor. They just use this. So yeah, it's good to go either way. But if you look at it, the price is $149. And if you go up a couple bucks, you can go ahead and get the monitor one, right? So I would suggest just going ahead and eating the cost and getting the monitor one, unless you really want to try this one out. The one at 7 inches, don't even bother, man. That thing will cramp your hand to no end. So stick at least with the 11-inch one. All right, so that's good for that. But now what's next? Now what you need to know is what kind of software are you going to use once you choose. So I would start off, personally for me, if you're going to be using Android, or if you're going to be using Linux, or just any kind of computer, right? Just any kind of desktop, laptop, anything like that. My go-to is always Krita. Krita is a fantastic program made by professional artists for professional artists. You can animate in it. You could do pretty much everything in it. And it's an open source. It's a beautiful piece of work, honestly. They've worked on this for a long time. All you got to do is go and download it. Nothing is put behind any kind of paywall or anything like that. What you see is what you get, and it is a great program. It's my daily driver program. I've got thousands of drawings in it and some animation and stuff like that. So I would recommend this. Even, and you know what? It is even for your tablet. You can even use Krita for your tablet, so it works for that too. All these programs I'm recommending to you, by the way, I've driven myself for a long time. So honestly, I'm going to say this up front. The one you're most comfortable in is the best one. Almost all of them have the same kind of tools. It's just where you find them and how much you're willing to pay for the program to support it. But yeah. So next up, if you have an iPad, like just the iPad, I'm not talking about like a Mac. A Mac you can still use Krita on, but if you have an iPad, then my wholehearted recommendation is Procreate. I believe Procreate is the superior tool on iPads. And what makes it superior to me the most is the fact that you pay $12.99 one time and you're done. That you own it. That's it. You don't need the Dreams animation one unless you want to animate, but just straight up Procreate itself, you're good to go. This reminds me of something. There is Procreate for your phone. It's a different one. I would not recommend drawing on your phone. That's just such a small screen. But hey, if you got to get started somewhere, go for it. Use Procreate anyway, and use Krita anyway. But that's really small to interface on. So I would highly recommend drawing on your phone. Recommend against drawing on your phone. But if you got to do what you got to do, go for it. All right, and now the next one is the big boy, Clip Studio Paint. So Clip Studio Paint is quite amazing. It has a robust community, lots of stuff that you can download, 3D models that can help you work out, different brushes, different tools. I mean, Krita has the same, but not as much, nowhere near as much, honestly. And you got to kind of look and make up some of your own stuff. This definitely helps. A ton of manga artists and everybody use it. And it's not that you can't do manga and stuff and set up your own stuff with the other ones, but this is kind of like what it's been focused for. One thing I will tell you though is, so yeah, you can see they got a lot of patterns and stuff. Like you can get these patterns and just download it. You could do that with any of the programs, but this has it really focused. The only downside about this is the pay plans. Oh, yeah, take a look at that. You're going to pay. If you get this, you are going to pay cash money, son. Now, I'm always about the perpetual license. They actually got a bit of hot water because they were supposed to be a competitor to Photoshop and Adobe. And their whole thing when they came out was that they were going to never ever have a monthly plan or anything like that. So I'm glad they kept the perpetual license around because that would have gone against everything they were even created for. But they've got cloud storage and all that, but I wouldn't go for that. This often goes on sale. So if you were going to go this route, I would wait for a sale. Or if you have a budding digital artist in your life and you wanted to buy them something, I'd get them this. Once again, I don't think there's anything better than cheap is free. But if you do, or if you're just in love with Clip Studio, this is something for you to go with. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. All you need to do is just choose. Oh, wait, actually, there's one more option. you can give a shot and try Fire Alpaca. This is actually a pretty fun one as well. As you can see, this is the kind of artwork you can make in it. Honestly, it's great. I love Fire Alpaca as well. The only reason I'm using Krita, sorry, I always call it Krita, but the only reason I'm using Krita is because Krita is just what I've been used to and I have a lot of fun. I've used Photoshop, I've used all the rest. I just keep coming back to that. And frankly, I kind of use all the programs at this point. But anyway, Fire Alpaca is fantastic as well. Just get one and stick to it. That's the best advice I can give you. Get one of these, learn it like crazy and stick to it, and come back to Biggie Ron over here and I'll show you some tutorials, stuff and techniques you can use in any of these digital art programs. I'm going to turn you into an incredible digital artist. All right. Well, that is it for today. That is how you get started in digital art. And so thank you very much. And I hope you subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button and join us back for more. See you next time.